Hello, this is Niswander of the Nowman Show, and I am here at the Green Fest, downtown Los Angeles at the Convention Center, and we are going to give you an overview of speakers, vendors, all kinds of things going on here at this excellent event that takes place every year, Green Festival Expo. So let's do it right now. I am here at the Green Fest with climate scientist from NASA, JPL, Erika Podest. And Erika just completed a talk called Eyes on Earth, Climate Change from Space. Erika, as a scientist, what is your focus at JPL NASA?
My focus is the study of our Earth using satellite images. So what I want to know is, how is Earth changing because of climate change?
So where does that start for you? I mean, where do you start? Do you look at images? Do you look at photographs, at video? What do you look at?
So I look at image from a number of different satellites, and the area that I'm particularly focused in is the northern high latitudes, because that's really ground zero for climate change.
What area is that?
The northern high latitudes.
Which would be?
Which would be about 45 degrees north. So 45 degrees latitude north.
So what landmass would that be?
All right, so that would cover areas like Alaska, Canada, Russia, Eurasia.
So what are you seeing when you look at that area?
One of the things that I've been focused on is looking at the growing season length. So that's the time period that vegetation grows. And with increasing temperatures, we're seeing that the vegetation has a longer time period to grow. This growing season length is getting longer. And in a way, you'd think that's a good thing, right? Because trees absorb carbon dioxide, so the longer this growing season length is, the more time they have to absorb CO2. But in fact, that's not the case, because what we're seeing is snowpacks are thinner and there's less water in the surface. So by the end of summer, there's very little water in the surface, and the trees become water stressed, so they kind of just shut down and they stop. They just stop. They become, they stop exchanging. They stop growing, and there's a halt in that exchange of gases between the vegetation and the atmosphere. And another thing that we're seeing is that there are more and more days of very extreme temperatures, and trees are cold weather adapted in those latitudes. So you hit them with a number of days of just really above average temperatures, and they become stressed and they just stop.
So they stop growing and they start drying up? Is that what happens?
Yeah, a lot of them just stop growing, and they can become so stressed that they die, or they just become weakened. And what we're seeing in the northern high latitudes is you have these weakened trees, and the next season they're weak. The growing season starts and they're already weak, and you have these beetle infestations. So you have a weak tree and you have these beetles coming around that will just kill the tree off.
Now, do you ever go on location to study, or do you?
Absolutely, yes. That's actually one of the exciting parts of my work. Is there's so many facets to being a scientist. I'm not only in the office looking at images and trying to figure things out, but I also go to the field and I collect data to understand on site what's going on.
So what would be your prognosis of everything that you've seen, looking at satellite views and also being there in person?
That things are changing very quickly in the northern high latitudes, in these areas, Alaska, Canada, Eurasia. And I was recently up in Alaska for a project, and I was up in the North Slope, so that's the tundra of Alaska. And this year, there were record fires. So fires up in the tundra used to be a rare event, but they're becoming more and more common. And the fear here is that these areas are underlain by permafrost. So permafrost are areas where the soil is frozen, and it's been frozen for hundreds, thousands of years, and they're reservoirs of carbon. So when you have a fire coming through, it degrades the permafrost, or it melts it, and there's a release of this stored carbon it's released into the atmosphere.
Are you finding that in the permafrost that there are areas where there's methane actually burning?
There are areas, yes, and there are a couple of scientists that are particularly studying that. Yeah, so there's carbon in the form of CO2 and methane.
Is that another major concern that scientists are looking at as well?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely, because methane is a very potent greenhouse gas. So we really want to try to assess potentially what are the methane emissions from the Arctic in a changing world with a warming climate.
I guess the next question would be, what can we do as well as educate ourselves, educate each other? What can we do?
My best advice is to educate yourselves, go online. NASA has done a really great job in putting our information out there. Go to the climate.nasa.gov website. There's a lot of great information about climate change and what we're seeing in terms of global processes and what are the different symptoms and what the whole story is telling us. And the whole story, it agrees, all of the symptoms agree to that things are changing.
Thank you very much. Now, as far as the public goes, here in Pasadena was where the Nowman show is based out of, and also JPL and NASA. You have an open house. Is it once a year there?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a huge event. We have an open house once a year, and it's open to anyone that wants to come. So it's a really fabulous opportunity, even for someone like me. I've been a scientist there for about 8 years now, and I love going to open house because I get to learn about all of the other amazing things that are going on at JPL.
And that includes like the Mars rover, which we've seen some amazing pictures, right, of Mars and Saturn, and what else is going on there in Pasadena?
So JPL has reached all of the planets. Not physically, it hasn't put a rover in all of the planets, but it's been either with a rover or with a satellite to all of the planets in our solar system. So there's some amazing images coming from satellite like Cassini, for example, of Saturn, and you can see so much detail in the rings of Saturn's, and you can see amazing images of the moons of Saturn. And of course there's Mars with the Curiosity rover, and everything that we're seeing and we're learning about Mars through Curiosity, and there's also the opportunity that's still strong and going, amazing. It's been over a decade that it's been just rolling on the surface of Mars. So they're really great things, and there are other missions to Mars coming up in 2020. There's another one, so it's a lot of excitement. And also we'll be reaching Jupiter soon through a mission called Juno. So a lot of exciting stuff, not only in earth science, but planetary science.
That's fantastic. Erika, thank you very much. This is Niswander, and you're watching The Nowman Show. Hello, this is Niswander of The Nowman Show, and I am here with the lead instructor at the Permaculture Academy, who is also an ecological designer and a green business consultant, Larry Santoyo. Larry, welcome to the Nowman Show.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Now, we are here at the Green Festival, and you just did a talk on permaculture. Now, your work consists basically of teaching permaculture, and also you have a design business. Before we talk about that a little bit, for the listeners out there that may not know the definition, what is permaculture?
That's something that I almost always avoid the answer to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm glad you asked, so while I think of some way to change the subject. There's really no succinct way to answer it. All these years I've tried to come up with a way to do that, and I think that in the last few years, the way that I've been describing or defining permaculture design, before I change the subject, is that permaculture design is decision-making and problem-solving protocols based on natural patterns. That's it. It's not about gardening. It's not about techniques and technologies. It's not about building with straw or mud. It's problem solving and decision making protocols based on the observation of natural systems. And you can use it for gardening, you can use it for natural building. You don't do permaculture, you use permaculture in what you do. You're a journalist, you could use permaculture design. I happen to be an educator and a designer and a builder, and I use permaculture design.
I love that definition. And actually, the word culture automatically implies that.
Yeah, I think that people still describe it, and even maybe Bill Mollison would describe it as permanent agriculture, and I've heard him say that before, but I've also heard him say that it was meant to be permanence in culture. So the idea, knowing full well that nothing is permanent, and I think that that's the brilliant part of that design, that our definition of permanence is constant change.
I'm pleased to introduce to everyone our new friend and colleague here on the Nowman Show, Jamie Banks.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
So Have a Heart Ranch Sanctuary, you won the community award. Here's a check.
Hi, I'm Jamie Banks, reporting for the Nowman Show. I'm here with Lola, Victoria, and Elizabeth, the three founders of Have a Heart Ranch. You guys, thank you so much for being here today. How are you feeling?
Shocked.
Shocked because of the award you just won?
Very surprised. There were some amazing nominees up there, all incredible foundations doing great stuff and really sweet people. We were sitting next to them all day and listening to them talk, and they were very passionate and sweet, and it was incredible. So they handed us a check, and here we are.
So you just won $5,000. What are you going to do with that money?
We're going to save lives. We're going to save animals. We're going to help them become therapy animals for people that need these programs so desperately. People that are battling life-threatening illnesses, veterans suffering from PTSD, people that have autism, learning disabilities, social anxiety. The horses help them overcome all of this.
So what kind of animals do you save?
We don't discriminate. We save all kinds of animals. It doesn't matter if they're wild animals or domestic animals or something in between. It doesn't matter if they're livestock. We take them all as long as we have the resources available, which luckily this check is going to help with. So yeah, this guy is really going for you, honey. I'm sorry. He's got to learn some manners.
No problem. So how did you get this idea to start this organization?
It was actually partly because of them. Ellie has high-functioning autism, and we looked into programs for her that might assist with this development and her motor skills and communication skills, social skills. Autistic people have trouble with all of the above and then some. So when we discovered that equine therapy was a hugely successful option, we started researching it further and realized, let's start saving animals. Let's get some horses over here. We've got a beautiful 5-acre property, and why not? Why not save animals and then let them work with kids? We saw how amazing they were with her, and her results were impeccable. And she said, we should offer this to a lot of other people. It's not fair that I'm the only one that gets to benefit. It should be everyone, anyone that needs this. And she was right. And now we're doing that, and our programs are just beautiful. It's such a blessing to be able to witness that and to share in that with people. So now we're working hard together, and we alternate. We call it Poop Patrol. She does pooper scooper duty 3 days a week, the other one 3 days a week, and then I do 1 day a week because I handle everything. And the girls are only 11 years old. So already they're getting an excellent start and learning responsibility, awareness, respect. We're vegan and very proud of that, and we try to educate others, and most importantly, we lead by example.
So what sort of therapy programs do you have, and how would people be able to participate?
We have therapy programs for veterans that are suffering from PTSD. We have an epidemic going on. People that are coming back from Afghanistan that have served for their country are losing their homes, they're losing their families, they're losing everything. The suicide rate is incredibly high, and no one's talking about it. So we're hoping to create awareness of that and to offer these people an option to find a place of healing and hope and peace and tranquility where they can reintegrate into life back home and not feel like they're alone. the children that have autism, the Autism Speaks programs are incredible. We don't just work with kids. We work with people of all ages who have autism and developmental disorders, stroke victims, people that are battling any kind of neurological issue. And it's incredible to see how the horse's energy reflects upon those people. They mimic the horse's energy. So when they're playful, the people that are visiting the ranch are playful. When they're in a bad mood, well, people in the ranch work extra hard to bring them up, and it's beautiful because we're working together to really have an impact on not just the people that visit the ranch, but the animals there. It's a really big team effort. Then we also have, oh yeah, that's Nico. This is one of our rescue guys. Sorry to interrupt here. This is one of our first rescues. I rescued him when I was about their age. He is now 20 years old. And it's just proof of what love can do. He was diagnosed with lymphoma, and they gave him about a month to live. That was 6 years ago. So this is what a vegan diet can do. We hope that everyone can follow that. So the additional programs that we offer are for people that are battling life-threatening illnesses, things like cancer, STDs, HIV/AIDS, emphysema, lung cancer, anything related to, like I said, life-threatening illness. Anything that you feel like there's no hope, you can come to us. We'll help you out. You can share the responsibility of the animals, connect with them on a very spiritual level, and just come in, feel loved, feel joy, and forget your pain for a little bit. And that's really helping a lot of people heal.
Well, great. Thank you guys so much, and thank you so much for helping to make a difference any way you can.
Bonjour! And I am here at the Green Fest with filmmaker Philippe Carillo. Philippe, welcome to the Nowman Show.
Thank you very much.
Now, just saw you do and talk about your film, which is called Inside the Garbage of the World, which is an award-winning film, by the way. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
And now, tell us about your film.
Well, the films emphasize, the plastic pollution disaster, and I say disaster because it is really a disaster. People think, oh, okay, it's a problem, but actually, it's a disaster that is getting into, our daily lives right now, and people don't really know about it. Basically, everybody have a plastic chemical in their body as we talk right now already, and they don't know about it, and all of that is coming from the plastic pollution.
And now your story is that you were in Ventura and you went to, actually, was it a beach in Oxnard?
Yeah, the story started, I was walking with my wife on the beach, and then we find so much plastic, man. I was like, wow. I said to my wife, you know what, we have to pick the pieces. This is not okay. I mean, to have a dirty beach like this, it's not okay. So we even find a bag and start to put all the plastic in the bag, and in half an hour the bag was full of plastic.
Wow, so that got you to thinking that if it's true here at this beach where there weren't that many people, then what kind of problem do we have worldwide, correct?
Yeah, my question was like, wow, where this plastic is coming from? Because there was some particles and pieces of plastic that was like, wow, who used that? It was very weird. So anyway, we did our research, and I said, well, I heard about the plastic island, and then I did the research about the plastic island, on Google, whatever, and then I finally find out that it wasn't an island at all. There was already a documentation from Captain Moore that it was actually worse than that. It was a plastic soup everywhere in the world. So, my story is not like, oh, I became a filmmaker because that's my dream. I didn't have the dream to become a filmmaker. I just find out that it was my duty to do something about it, taking responsibility because I'm a part of it. How you change the future, how you change what's going on right now for the future, how to protect the world as it is. I mean, I don't have the pretension to change the world, but at least I can do something about it. And this is how it started. And I did my research because I'm a professional in the film industry. I was doing post-production as a sound engineer, and I did a lot of documentaries. So I kind of knew, how to do it, and I just did it. And put everything together. pay everything from my pocket, and just did the film with all the information to empower people.
That's fantastic. Now, Al Galita, that's a research organization.
Yeah.
Did you work with them in the making of this film?
Yeah, actually, I interviewed Captain Moore. Captain Moore have a boat, research boat. It's a catamaran, and he did multiple voyage in the middle of the Pacific patch, the plastic patch, the garbage patch. We call that the garbage patch, actually, in the middle of the Pacific. So he had a lot of data, and he's interviewed in the film, and he actually did some research at different years, and the increase was actually the major key component about what's going on right now. And the trend of the change is exponential. So the curve is exponential, meaning we are arriving at an oblivion point where everything is going to die if we don't do anything about it. It may be too late.
That's what we don't know if we've reached a tipping point, or if we haven't, how soon that's coming.
Yeah, I don't want to be pessimist. I'm not a pessimist at all. I believe we can still change what's going on. I believe in that. Otherwise, I will just what? Just stay home?
Right, exactly.
Wait for the end? No. I mean, if we have to die one way or another, I will be in the fight.
Yes, I totally agree. How long did it take for you to put the film together and get it out there? And what's been happening? Obviously it's been film festivals and it's won an award. What is your goal from here, let's say, with the film?
It took 1 year to make the film because I did it pretty much everything myself, 98%. But it's very hard. It's very hard to make people aware. It's very hard to say to your neighbor, hey, you know what? We are dying from plastic. And the guy say, it's like, whatever. So that's why I put the film together, in order for people to step by step get the information and becoming aware. Aware meaning, okay, wow, I get the information now. I'm empowered, and this is really the goal, empowering people with the information like this that can make a different choice, a better choice for them, a better choice for the kids, a better choice for the planet, for the future.
So now, where are you planning to take the film from here? You're working on another film, or?
Yeah, I mean, the film right now, I'm working on the distribution deal. The film, need to have professional working on the distribution, let's say. In the same time, like this, I can focus on the next film. Next film is about radiation, all kind of radiation, including cell phone and Wi-Fi. But I'm intending to do another film next year about the health effect of plastic pollution.
That's fantastic. So please keep us posted on what's going on, and we'll do a follow-up at some point.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Philippe Carillo. This is Niswander, and you're watching the Nowman Show here at Greenfest. Hello, this is Niswander, and I'm with climate scientist Erika Podest. Erika? I think we need a new renaissance. What can we do together to make the world a better place?
Wow. Okay, that's a great question. I'm not even sure where to start, but okay, I think looking at how you can change, right, and how you can change your lifestyle. So in terms of climate change, what can you do, or what can we do at a personal level to change the resources to change the way we live, to become more aware of the resources that we use. Anywhere from the amount of water that you use, to the amount of fossil fuels that you burn in your car, to the power that you have in terms of what you buy, in terms of where your food is coming from, packaging, little things like that, to just becoming more conscious of our environment and being more with it. So I think when you appreciate something, when you're out in nature, it's a good incentive to protect it and to save it.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Hello, this is Niswander, and I am here with filmmaker Philippe Carillo. Philippe, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I think we need a new renaissance. What can we do together to make the world a better place?
Well, the first step, I guess, is to open a door, your own door to awareness. Search. Do some research, the real research, how to search. Well, you pull a string, and if you don't find, the data you want, continue to pull the string. And at the end of the string, you will find the real information. And then, I don't know, meet people like here at the Green Festival. You can meet people who have the kind of the same mindset about opening their mind to something more sustainable, more green, and better for the future generations.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Hi, I'm Antonio Sayant from Angel Light Pictures, www.angellightgroup.com. And whenever I'm in LA, I always check out the Nowman show.
So may I try some cheese?
Yes, please. We have almond cheese
Okay.
and we have rice cheese. So basically, this is a base of almond and
Wow, this is fantastic.
We have a Grammy Award winner, Mamadou, playing the Cora from Mali.
It's now. Let's do this.
Wow, this is fantastic.
The past is gone, the future is yet to come, it's now, right now. The present is here, the future is near, but it's right now. Being with you makes the party complete, so keep the body moving and show us your happy feet. At the end of the night, when all is said and done, I wanna know I did the right thing and